everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Well, kind of evening now. Been a little late today, guys. Sorry. Didn't do one this morning. Just kind of trying to rest up, get some of the water off of me, you know. Taking some Lasix, having to use the bathroom all the time. Believe me, I'm talking every 15 minutes, guys. Anybody that's never taken a Lasix, that's what it does to you. But it helps, let me tell you. Yeah, I've lost 15 pounds today, just so everybody knows. No kidding, that's not even a joke. That is the truth. Yeah. Anyway, let me say hi to everybody here. Jerry, first one in here, good to see you. Thanks for modding for me. Stephanie, 2Tim3, what's up? Tam Tam, G513 in the hizzy. Julie, Sparky B, good to see you, bud. Darren, Kathy, good to see you. That Orange Star, heck yeah. Roxy Trim, Wisconsin, huh? Cool. Dennis, Let the Dead Bury the Dead. Good name. By the way, that's an awesome font. I got Arizona Raven changed her name with that. And wow, that's all I can say. There's some different fonts there that I really would like to change my name using that font. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. What she used actually had like flowered emblems on the side. It was really neat. Kim, Jacqueline, Jerry again. IG, what's up, girl? Thank you for modding for me. Sandy, Randy, Diane, Pamela, Becca, good to see you. That's right, Wages fam. That's right. All one big fam, you know. Wages fam, real talk. Mark Pyers, real talk fam. Hey, there it is again too. Suicide, man. Look at those. That's awesome stuff. I'm gonna have to get me one of those, man. Yeah, exactly, Arizona. Just like that. Good to see you. On point, Blue Yoda. Hey, you know, Bean. That's awesome. You guys, let me just say, I had to get rid. I can't show it all the time. Every time I show that Blue Yoda holding my emblem, people get like upset. I don't know why, but they do. It's like they say it scares them and stuff. It's like, I don't know. You know, and even the Blue Yoda, that was actually Baby Yoda, which is off of The Mandalorian. And his name is actually Grogu. Actually has a name. Hey, what's up, Axe? By the way, that was the best Mandalorian episode out of all of them. I'm not going to do a spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen it yet. But watch it to the end. You will definitely love it. Just saying. Go binge watch that whole series if you haven't seen The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. It was crazy epic, just like Axe said. So yeah. Hey Marie, what's up? If I missed anybody else in there, I apologize. Beckinator. But yeah, guys. Hey Tab, what's up? Jeff P, I think I seen Jeff in here. What's up, Jeff? Yeah, he was up in here. Sorry, I kind of skipped over that. Jill, what's up? Diana, Pascalin. Wish I could say hi to everybody. But let's just get into this, guys. So, yeah. We do have some stuff to talk about here. There's actually some stuff going on. And we're going to go into some things. I'm going to show you one of the comments that was made. That it's a legitimate thing to talk about. So we're gonna talk about that. But before we get to this, here's the Schumann. I like to show this first because I do think this is the most important thing out of everything we show. Hey, Rick, what's up? Diana, good up. Anyway, this is, like I said, the most important thing that I show. Because it affects everything. And everything affects it. And so when I show you guys the vibrational, the frequencies that are around us all the time, which is what I'm showing you right here, you got to understand that this will affect you immediately. It won't take 5 weeks down the road. I mean, this is going to affect you immediately. And this particular tool is in Russia. So what that means is it's regional, and it's a bunch of different stations report in, and they give an average. Okay, so it actually helps the validity of this for a regional tool. If it was just one station, then we'd have to call it local just for that area. But with this being like this, now you're looking at this big spike. This big spike happened when the volcano blew on Hawaii the other day. Okay, now that what is people have to understand is when that blew, that wrung the whole planet. Now remember, that was just, even with that volcanic eruption, there was only a 4.4 earthquake associated with that. Now, if you take that eruption away and put a 4.4 earthquake anywhere else, you're not going to see it ring every seismograph on the planet like this did. And that's why the vibrational frequency reflected it, because it rung the planet. The whole globe. Not just one area, the whole globe. So you have to understand all that stuff is tied together underneath our feet. The stuff underneath our feet is just as important as what's above our head, if not more so. It's what generates our magnetic field. That is our protection for what's above our head. So if what was going on inside our planet wasn't happening the way that it should, then we wouldn't have the protection that we do. So we have to understand that. And that's true for the majority of planets. Now, magnetic fields can be generated by different things. I know that we've never been to the core of our planet, so, really it's still a theory. If you really want to get down to the technical aspect of it, obviously we think we have a pretty good idea what's going on there. And I'm not going to get into details on any of that because there's actually some arguments with that too. So, a whole lot of our theories pop up, and you can't address every one of them every video. If you did, you'd never get to talk about anything else. So just kind of understand that. So when we're talking about the geomagnetic storm watch, which is actually what's in effect, you can see the X-ray flux is slowly on an uptick, even the base of it. And the reason why is because we have this sunspot. Now this sunspot itself is the one that was huge the last time, it made a full lap around the sun and came back. It's there. Now why we're not having any flaring with this, for the main reason is, here's the sun. This is visible light. See how big that is? It's just as big as what it was last time, just about. You can fit about 4 or 5 Earths inside that thing, if not more. But you don't see any other sunspots around it. Okay, usually we have sunspot groupings with the official sunspot. When that's the case, they start interacting with each other, and that's when we get the flaring. So we have to understand that the chances of flaring and CMEs and all the above increase when we have a grouping, not just one big massive hole. And that's what we got right here, which makes this thing very stable. So what we have to understand is we don't want those other ones popping around. This is giving us some X-ray. It's kind of keeping us geomagnetically, this wouldn't be keeping us geomagnetically charged. What's keeping us geomagnetically charged is this. That coronal hole right there. Okay, it's actually rotating off now, so, but we still got these patchy ones, and check this out. I noticed this one popping up here in the past 12 hours. That's actually south of the equator. So, we're probably going to connect to that at some point, and we're going to get some winds from that. Now, whether or not it gets bigger, smaller, or just stays the same, that'll depend on what kind of, charged particles we get from that. But we also got, right here in front of us, we got some patchy stuff right here, right now. They're not big, huge openings like up here, but there are openings, just the same. That's what gives us, we get these little short bursts of solar wind sometimes. A lot of times, this is what causes it. These little ones that are kind of like back to back to back to back to back, all the way through there, we'll see little bursts off and on. Sometimes people say they don't know where that stuff comes from, and, it's hard to really pinpoint back to a small hole. So that's why you really can't say for sure. But, we all know for the majority of the hits we get on our planet, they're coming from this kind of stuff. So we have to understand that. Now, I do think that the sun is influenced by other things, like we've been talking about. The object that Scott's been showing forever now. And what I went back and did some research on that, and every time it was in a certain position, there was a CME. That's how we figured out all that kind of stuff that we've been talking about. And there's a whole lot of other things that can be going on there too. So things are happening. You know, and we like to say that they're pretty normal as the sun cycle increases, and they're going to be, okay? But we also have other things that are influencing things that are probably going to give us an uptick in certain areas. So the big ones are what we're concerned with. And if something's, you know, messing with the sun at the same time that's doing its natural increase anyway, you know, you put two and two together there, and there you go. You know, we start getting big blasts, and we'll just have to look out for that kind of thing. Now, is there absolutely anything we can do about that? No. All we can do is do what we do now and try to be aware. We try to prepare as much as we can, or where we're comfortable doing, and that's all we really can do, guys. And try to be there for each other when stuff does go wrong. Now, you know, on a grand scheme of things, nothing's really went catastrophically wrong since we've been alive. Think about that. Now, that's good in a sense, but it's also bad, because what that does is that puts us mathematically behind the 8 ball. Because it is not a matter, it's a matter of if, it's not a matter of when. It's a matter of when, not a matter of if, is what I'm trying to say. It's going to happen, whether we're here when it happens or not. It will happen eventually. And that's what we're talking about. So hopefully that puts that in a little perspective for you. Now, notice that the range here, 200 to 600, obviously that's at a high end. And we are, right now, we're riding right along that top edge, 600. So that's an uptick. We are experiencing geomagnetic unrest right now. You know, 4 is what they consider very active. 3, you know, that's considered active, but that's normal. We want some of this stuff. It helps us block cosmic rays. If we get down here to the 0 and stay there for any length of time, cosmic rays get in. And they're getting in more so now because we were in a lower time for the sun. And when the sun's like that, it doesn't have the magnetic field. It isn't as strong as what it is during solar maximum, so it ain't able to block the cosmic rays from outside our solar system from even getting in here. So that's why we pay attention to that. And our magnetic field is 25% weaker than what it was. So all that stuff is adding up to point to that it won't take as big of a smack to really give us a big issue. And that's why we talk about what we talk about. So I get asked that a lot. You know, and people say, oh, that's a big nothing burger and all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what, guys? It's only a nothing burger until it's not. That's what I tell people like that. You know, if it's a nothing burger, then don't listen. Just keep moving, you know, if that's what you think. But don't come knocking on my door when that burger becomes a deluxe with extra cheese. So that's all I'm saying. Because I ain't going to give you no handout. I want to take care of my own. So anyway. I mean, you know, you put all like Carolyn said right there, you put all those percentages together. And it really does start putting things, you know, in perspective. When's it coming? Well, Aaron, it's here. That's kind of what we're all trying to say. You know, how long has it been here? I don't know. You know, when we're talking about Planet X and stuff, guys, I know that's the biggest question we talk about. Nothing's going to collide into our planet. Okay? I know that's what we look at when we see all the other things that we talk about and look at and things like that. But it's you know, even the ones that were saying, you know, warning people about stuff crashing into our planet are now backing off of that. Because they're figuring out that they were incorrect. You know, if you understand how magnetics work, it is extremely hard for another object that's magnetically charged to hit another object. It's more like ping pong balls, guys, or pinballs. They're deflecting away from things. That's just how it works. And the ones with the bigger magnetic fields are able to, they stay where they're at. That's where, you know, we're locked into a certain orbit with the sun, you know, for a lot of reasons. Gravity being, you know, the the most consistent one there, I would think. But then you throw in the magnetic thing there too, with the electric universe theory and all that other kind of thing. There's so many different things there now, guys. We have to take in consideration. There's so many different things that could be actually what's going on. And, you know, I know, I can tell you this for certain, that none of us have it all figured out. Not even the ones that try to say that they do. And it's funny to hear other people say that, you know, they're the only ones that got any of the answers at all. Don't listen to nobody else but them. And they keep going on and on and on about it. And it's like, oh my gosh, give it a break. I mean, come on. And, you know, these are the same people that tried to tell you to have an open mind, like years ago. And now they're like, I'm the only one with the answer. It's like, what the heck? You know? It's like, you know, I say this, like me and Scott, we show you guys observations and things of what we see. And we show you why we believe what we believe. But we don't ask you to stand on your head, blink your eye, jump up and down 3 times, squint real hard, fart, and belch at the same time to see what we're trying to show you. That's what a lot of these other channels are trying to do, guys. I mean, come on. It just doesn't make any sense. And it just doesn't. And I know that kind of sounded a little bit whatever. But at this point, guys, I mean, really, when I see somebody tell me that I need to turn my head to the side, and I need to squint my eyes, and I need to back away from the screen, and then I need to run towards the screen real fast and open my eyes at the same time to see what they're trying to show me, are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? I just don't know what to say to that anymore. The only thing that I can say to that would come out extremely bad. You know what I'm saying, guys? I mean, really. You know, if somebody wants to show me something, great, show me. But I shouldn't have to do all that if it's really there. Does anybody else understand that? I mean, I hope that they do. Because, you know, the stuff that, you know, that I show you and that Scott and that, you know, Jeff and other people show, we try to give it to you in a way that you can look at it and see exactly what we're saying. There's times, yes, we're going to ask you to look directly at one spot because that's what you have to do. But we're never going to tell you to turn your head to the side. We're not going to tell you to back away from your screen, turn it this, turn it that. Set it to some sort of, you know, like pixelization, like 1080p or 720p or whatever. We're not going to tell you that because we don't need to. Because what we're showing you is right there. It doesn't, you know, that's why the observation speaks for itself. And that's where we've gotten with it, a lot of us. We show you the observation and we move on. So I hope you guys understand that. And I know I kind of went on a side rant, but it applied to what I was talking about. Because it's a big deal. It really is. It's a big deal about who you guys are listening to, what you guys are listening, you know, getting from it. I tell you guys to listen to everybody. That's my opinion. Because you can find truth anywhere. But you have to understand how you got to discern through that to find the truth of what they're saying. Just be cautious. That's all I'm saying. So, anyway, I'm going to move on. So, anyway, we got the solar wind up here, right? And then you got all this, and it's jumping around, doing its thing, its density. You know, this is only 1 to 10. So right now we don't have a whole lot of density. What we're having is a fast solar wind stream. Okay? So that's what's causing the unrest right now. Okay? Now, here is the Aroura. This is a historic model. What that means is this is what we got right now. If I hit play, what'll happen, you'll get from, it'll go back a certain amount of hours and come up the current. It doesn't try to predict out in front. If you look at the timestamp, you can see that, okay? So if we grab this, this is what's already happened. I didn't know that when I first started looking at this. Matter of fact, I made a few mistakes thinking that it was the other. But once I figured that out, I like to point that out so people don't make the same mistake as I did. Okay? So anyway, as you grab this, you go here, there, and you see in the uptick, and what you're seeing there is you're seeing the increase in the solar wind. Okay? So what happens is we had increased solar wind last night, remember? That's why you had this big intense aurora. So as we move it along, you see it pulsing. See that? That's because the solar wind is fluctuating. And that's exactly what this showed you. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that. Now, we're looking at the Enlil model here. This is, again, this is 2 days. Right now, we're about right here in time. Okay? The conditions at Earth are right here on the top. The green line. Now, I know if you're looking at this, you're wondering what in the heck is going on. Because, look, at no time does it show the velocity getting over 300. So you wonder, what is this thing trying to show us? Because this right here is showing 600. So what in the world's going on here? So, I don't know what to say to that. I really don't. This thing has been wrong the past few times. So I'm not sure what to go with that. I'm going to back off of that for a minute. Okay, guys? Just so you know. The next few times, I'm going to show it to you guys, but I'm also going to point out the fact that it's been wrong. Especially when you're looking at this. You see this? Why is it telling me that we only got up to 300 here when I can... This is historic. That's 2 days behind us. That's already happened. But I can go here and show you clearly that we were nowhere near 300 and even up here. So, you see what I'm getting at, guys? So I'm not sure what to think about that. I do trust this more than anything. Okay? What this is telling us, it gives us a day and it gives us a time frame. And what this number's showing you is that's a KP of 5, which means a G1 storm. So they're thinking we're going to be at storm level at the turn of the day tonight on the 23rd, about 24 hours from now. And then it looks like it might fluctuate for a minute and get back up in the storm level again about 6 in the morning. So you can see this yellow box. That's what that is. We go to the next one. Still G1, G1. And then back to green. So that's what they think it's going to do. That's a predictive thing. So whether or not it gets there, I don't know. I'm not trusting this Enlil model right now. Just so you know. The data points is what I trust more. Not this kind of crap. So anyway. Let's move on. This is the velocity model. Okay, sun's off to the left. Obviously, you see the red. That's the higher speed. Okay? And what you're seeing there, again, is this higher speed stuff moving. That's really all that it is. It's a definite uptick and it's constant, which means it's going to continue to hit us with, higher speed winds, which is going to add more and more geomagnetism. All right? Now, this is the density. Notice all these funky looking shapes around us right now. It doesn't, I don't know, like I said before, I have not seen it look like this. And I left this here like this because I want to show you guys something. You see, when we get the white is low density. And I'm going to explain something here too. Just because, like right here, this is a good way to show you. We're going to grab this right now. Now, you can see clearly where our bow shock is, right? Our bow shock is where the solar wind meets our magnetic field. It's our first line of defense. Okay? So when I grab that and I move it, it looks like the bow shock's being wiped away, doesn't it? It's not. Okay, and why am I bringing this up right here? I got this comment, and it's a legitimate comment, guys. Okay, so I don't want you guys to think that I think this is ridiculous, because I don't. I don't think this is ridiculous, not even one little bit. I think it's an intelligent comment, matter of fact. It says, check out the vlog. I left the name out on purpose because I don't want, you know, it's not my intent to, I'm only showing you this so it helps people understand. That's it. Because I think the person that left this is a very good person, number one. Number two, I think that it's an intelligent thing to say. Check the velocity and density diagrams from around 1241 to 1446 UTC. Obviously, I was not able to get on there and see that, okay? What he's talking about is, or she, is talking about this, okay? This only gives you like 2 hours, and you can't go back and look at the historic data. There's nowhere to go see it. All right? So, at least that I know of. And it says they've cut out what happened in between. It says, be quick, the video material will only be available for the next couple hours. The barriers in front of Earth have been blasted away, and they're not building up again. Okay, now, I have to address this because I think there's some confusion here. Let me explain. So when we're looking at this, even if we're looking at the speed, all this is up here is doing is showing you speed. It's not telling you the density of anything. Okay? It's telling you the speed of the wind. That's simple as that. All this is showing you is density. The density of the particles. So when we look at this, and it looks like it wipes it away, right? It's not. All that's telling you is that in front of our bow shock and behind our bow shock, the density is the same. You guys understand that? The bow shock is still there. And how do we prove that? We'll have to wait. Now listen to what I'm getting ready to say here. When the density in front of us gets less dense, when the material out in front of us gets less dense, you'll see it. The same thing that happened here with going from less dense to dense, you're going to see it go from dense to less dense. It's going to go backwards. It's going to go from dark blue to white. Okay? So what's happening here, guys, is our bow shock is not going down. That doesn't happen. Okay? You got to ask yourself a couple things here. And I've said this a bunch. And I really want this to really get hammered home. And all this is showing you is pressure. Again, it's not showing you, it's showing you where the pressure's at. That's all that this is showing you. So again, this may look like our bow shock goes away, but it doesn't. Nothing's getting wiped away. Nothing's going down. Our barriers are still there. Now listen, they can get moved forward and back, but they don't get wiped away. The only way that can possibly happen, because it takes two things to have a bow shock, right? It takes solar wind, and it takes a magnetic field. So what does that mean? That means that either your magnetic field has to go completely away, and I mean completely away, or your solar wind has to go completely away. What would have to happen for one of those two things to happen? Well, the inside of our planet would have to stop completely moving. And if that ever happened, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Or the sun would have to go away. And if that ever happened, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Something drastic would have to happen that would completely, it's not just going to partially go away. If it's going to go away, it's going to go away all the way. And then we look like Mars. Okay? That's what happens. Whatever causes it on Mars, who knows? That's a bunch of theory there, always. There's good theory there. But we have to understand that most definitely you have to have that does not happen. And that's the only reason why I bring that comment up, because that's where that kind of line of thinking leads. And it definitely does look like that. You see what I'm saying? If you just looked at this and you didn't understand that was the same, all this was showing was density, it would look as if it got wiped away. See that? But it doesn't. It's not getting wiped away. Okay? So I really want to push that point home. Now, something else I want to show you guys here. Remember I commented on the shape of it all, right? You guys see this right here? How we're kind of doing this? It almost looks like out here, doesn't it? So I don't know what's causing that. That is strange, okay? It just is. There's no way to put it. It's almost like, I don't know. I don't even know, really. See how we got a complete curve this way right here. Why do we have a curve right here? The sun's back here. Our shields are there. So what's going on right here? Makes you wonder. Just saying. And there's a lot of theory and there's a lot of different ideas on what happens there. Some people don't like to call them theory because, you know, that's fine. I think there's good truth everywhere. But at the same time, we have to understand that sometimes we can be wrong. And as soon as I admit, if I come on here, guys, take this in consideration. What if I walked on here and just told you that I was completely right on absolutely everything I say? How long would you guys stick around? Well, if you had about, you know, a half a second of common sense, you'd probably run, right? And unfortunately, what I see is I don't see any of, I see, you know, people not being able to accept the fact that they can be wrong. You know, even though I'm showing you guys what I'm showing you, there's still, always still a chance I can be wrong. Always. And I mean always. We would all quit looking at science altogether if we knew exactly, if there was always, if we knew 100% that there was no chance we were wrong. So that's kind of what, you know. Bobby, you need to email me, buddy. I got ways to help. Somebody drop my email in there for me, would you please? One of my mods. Please email me, Bobby. I don't know what's going on. I didn't read the chat, but please. There's no, yeah, when we start talking about stuff like that, I have ways to help people, okay? Thanks, IG. Man, what the... What? Okay. I trust you guys. And hey, Rip, what's up, bud? Sid, what's up? Looks like you both got him. Wow. I don't know what's going on, but you guys handle it. I'm going to go look. I'll get distracted. Hey, Rip, I've been enjoying your videos, buddy. Really have. I like the knife sharpening one you did the other day, man. Very good video. Very good. My wife was cracking up at you. We were watching your ballistic vest one that you did. You were cracking me up, man. That's all I got to say. Love it, dude. Love it. Okay, so back to magnetic Earth. That's right. That's right. I know you guys got me. We're good. We're good, guys. I trust you guys. I really do. You believe it or not, guys, I take a lot of flack for trusting my mods. But I do. I trust you guys. You got to. You know? I couldn't do this right now what I'm doing without my moderators. So that's why I appreciate them so much. But anyway, we keep going. Now, I do think that sometimes, moderators, just like everybody else, they make mistakes. So, and in that case, when people email me, I try to handle it that way, and, usually things get just fine. Most of the time, it's just a little bit of a misunderstanding in communication. Most of the time. There's been a couple times I've had to say something to a couple of issues, but not too many. But anyway, as you guys can see here, you're seeing some, magnetic disruptions, and this is exactly what we would expect to see during a solar wind event. Okay? Now, I know that looks just completely obliterated. It is. Magnetically, for a second there, we got obliterated. But notice, you see this? What's still there? Nothing's happening out in front. Like our bow shock is still there. Our magnetic field is still there. Now, that is some serious chaos going on behind us, okay? But the Earth is deflecting everything. You guys seeing all this? Okay? And we're still getting hit. Now see, look. If you got hit like that, boom, oh my gosh, that hurt really bad, right? Like somebody hit you right in your head. And then all of a sudden his friend comes right behind you, bam, and hits you again, because that's what happened right there. You see this big red swash right here? We got hit again, and that's what caused that big, massive, just complete bam. But notice, this didn't go away. Still there. Okay? So that's my whole point, guys. It's going to fluctuate. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at this one real quick, because this does show us right down on top of our planet. Notice how our bow shock is moving in over here. See how it's bouncing? And then watch when we get hit real hard. You see that? So, but watch what happens when it does that. Here we go. Getting ready to get hit. Boom. We're getting hit. We're getting compressed. Starting to do all kinds of crazy shapes. See that? But watch. Within like a half hour, look what happens. We recovered. Notice that our bow shock didn't even get inside our satellite line. Okay? So, what I'm saying is that when we get these solar wind events, we're going to see this kind of chaos looking stuff over and over and over again. Now, when we make a big deal about this is when there is nothing, like we can't point to solar wind. We can't really point to anything else. We can't figure out where it came from. But yet we had a big blast like that. Or me and Scott did a live stream. I don't know, it's been a while back now, because we've seen this chaos, right? We didn't do it because we seen the chaos. You know why we did it? Because this chaos actually turned around to the other side. We were protecting ourselves in the back. But our bow shock never went away. It was still there. Our magnetic field was still there. We were just trying to protect from the other side, because what we were getting from the other side was stronger. The solar wind never went away either. But we still had our magnetopause and still some of our magnetic field even behind us, protecting us. Okay? Even though we don't have a big, huge, strong bow shock signature on these models, behind us, make no mistake that our magnetic field goes completely around us. Okay? You have to understand that. It's completely around the whole planet. It's not just protecting in one direction. So that's where the confusion comes. And that's why I wanted to take this chance to show you guys that. So if we go back to the 22nd, which was today, this is the Australian model. This is probably going to bounce around quite a bit. Notice that the BZ stays in the negative for the most part. That means that conditions are favorable for the stuff to come into our system. Notice the density's jumping around, the speed's high. So that's why we're getting this uptick right now. Do I think it's going to uptick the orange status at the volcano, Marie? I don't know, okay? Because that is one of the indicators that we look at when we see an uptick in solar weather, space weather. I really do think that, you know, and it's becoming more and more accepted that space weather does affect seismic activity. And so with an uptick in space weather, you know, it does stand to reason that we might see an uptick in seismicity, okay? Which includes volcanic eruptions in that. Now, I can't say directly to that particular volcano, or if they're going to rise any kind of warning or watch status. Probably not, because they don't really kind of figure that in as of right now. Now, as studies become more and more done, and hey, Teresa, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. Man. But, anyway. So what we're seeing is when we see those kinds of things going on, I can't point directly to Hawaii and say, hey, yes, they're going to raise the watch level or whatever we're talking about, orange and red and all those levels we got. I do think that, you know, space weather does increase seismicity. And that's it. You know, at this point, I have a lot of observational things I could show you on that, a lot of data stuff I could show you. But there are no official, like, you know, there's more papers being written and more studies being done officially, being peer-reviewed and things. But yeah, I seen that, Rick. You know, Mount St. Helens caldera is filling again. That's yeah, I seen that, Rick. Good. Thanks for pointing that out. But yes, I did. Hey, Dana, what's going on? But yeah, I really think that. Hey, let's just show what he say here. What do you got? Yeah, yeah, we don't do that here. Anyway, I wanted to show everybody, just so everybody knows. Can't be saying that kind of crap. Anyway, what we got going on is it will increase our levels, I think. Our chances of having any kind of earthquakes. That's why I put it in the thumbnail. Because it definitely does, in my opinion. But, you know, to officially say that that's what they're going to tell you it's going to do, they're not going to. The only ones that are going to say it are people like me out here on the internet doing what I do. Ron Tyler, oh my gosh, he does such a great job. IG, if you're still in here, any one of my mods want to drop his link, please do. I suggest you guys go over to his channel. Him and Dutch and everybody else that do those kinds of things. But Ron's a really good guy. And, you know, I try to help out people that I believe in and that are good people. And that's exactly what Ron is. So, if nobody drops his link, I will later at the end of the show here. But anyway, this is seeds. And nothing really much is blowing, like as far as CMEs right now. We've had kind of a quiet period. This is Venus down here, guys. Don't worry about that. Okay? This model just does that no matter what. Now, I seen something on Stereo A, and we're going to go look at something here in a second. But here at the end of the day, I seen this thing get real bright right here. Watch where my cursor is. You see it get real bright real quick? Right there. See that? I'm going to back it up. And as I go here, 1954, okay? You see what? Right, the last image we got, it's getting really bright right here. Now, I can't say for sure, but usually when I see that, because it goes from nothing to that fairly quickly, okay? Usually when I see that, that means that there's like a big, huge sunspot over here that's kind of becoming outside of this occulter area, or that's a CME. We'll have to wait and see. You know, regardless, we got days to talk about that. Just so everybody knows. So yeah. Let me go here. The CME graph here, the ISWA CME graph. This will show you the CMEs and what direction they're going. This hasn't updated since, what day did that update? The 16th. That means it's saying that it hasn't seen a CME since then. Not sure if that's actually correct, but that's what they're saying. Now, the solar wind, guys, it did arrive like I showed you guys here. Back here. It never got into storm level like they said it could have. They didn't say it was going to 100%. But that's why they got us in a watch. Okay? And they're saying it's from that northern coronal hole I showed you. Now, we got a sunspot here that just popped up. I showed it to you guys earlier. This is that conjunction. Okay? That's Jupiter. That's Saturn. They've zoomed in here, obviously. What I think is kind of neat is you can actually see their moons, too. See that? See a few of their moons, even Saturn's. So, you know, I just think that's really neat. I actually went outside and was able to see it tonight. We had clear skies here, where I'm at. I got a picture of it from Ball State University up in Muncie. I don't live in Muncie, but that's in Indiana here, too. I should have downloaded that. I didn't download it, but check it out, guys. It's really cool stuff, and it made it look like it was one star. I'll tell you that. Again, here's that big coronal hole. And I have to point out, guys. I mean, we got other holes too, so it doesn't mean that we're just going to get weather from one. But here's that bigger spot as it rotates in. Even though there are no other spots around it, we cannot let our guard down thinking that nothing's going to happen. Anything can happen at any time. Okay, that's what I have to say. I showed you guys a CME about a week or so ago that was nowhere near a sunspot. Not even close. It was a little bit of a filament there, but it wasn't nothing huge. So that's what I'm saying, guys. We don't have to have a sunspot to have a flare, to have a CME, to have a filament release of any sort. But sunspots do point to areas of more likelihood of those kinds of events happening. It's more likely that all that stuff I said will happen around a sunspot than what it will on other parts of the sun. But we can't just think that that's the only place that it does. So, earthquakes. Look at this. We just had one right here. That was a 4.2 down in Argentina. We got one here, a 5. We had actually a pretty decent one right here. The Pacific, the northern East Pacific rise. Spit it out, Mark. Spit it out. But that's a fairly decent one from that area, guys. I haven't seen one quite that size in that area for a while. So, yeah. Oh, really? You got a... Hey, Teresa, if you got a link or something, might check, drop that. I don't know what was around that comment, but guys, remember the rules. Let me just state the rules so everybody understands where I'm at. You can't use vulgarity. You can't attack another subscriber or another channel creator. You can attack me all you want, okay? Just don't use vulgarity. I don't care if you attack me. This is really so my mods know what to do. And like I said, anything that breaks terms of service obviously has to be deleted. Other than that, let it fly, guys, okay? I don't want anybody, if they want to voice their opinion on anything, religion, I don't care what it is, let them do it. And you're welcome to put yours in there too. And you're welcome to disagree. Disagree back and forth, guys. That's good conversation in my opinion. So just kind of do that, you know. Oh, you're good, Mighty Mark. I'm not saying it wasn't just because of that one. I just say that just because I want everybody to understand that's kind of what we do. I think that people appreciate that, and I actually appreciate that too, because I've learned a lot from you guys. And I want that to continue. I've learned a lot from you guys that push against me. It's forced me to dig into things harder sometimes. And I think that that's healthy, as long as it's done in a respectful way. That's why, you know, and people that don't do it respectful to me, I leave it there just to show everybody how ignorant they are. That's pretty much why I leave it there. But I don't allow that stuff to go against other people. That's it, you know. That's the only reason. Yeah, you know, yeah, keep it cool. You can disagree all day long. I mean, seriously, go at each other. I'm serious about that. You know, iron sharpens iron, guys. I have to keep saying that, but that's how I actually believe, you know. But you can sharpen iron with another piece of iron without being disrespectful. You can do it in a respectful way, but still get your point across. And, you know, just to be frank, that's what adults do, right? I mean, am I even... Oh, did you, Robin? Yeah, I talked to Adam quite... You know, I've talked to Adam. I've been on Adam's show quite a bit, actually. 6 or 7, 8 times, something like that. I've been with Marfugo for a while, you know. I was one of his earliest subscribers, long time ago. Adam does a good job, I think. And again, he's going to have his critics just like I have mine. And again, that's why we live in the world that we do, and that's what we fight for, right? We're allowed to have those difference of opinions. So, with that being said, I'll keep moving here. Sorry, got on a little rant there, but I just want to make sure everybody knows, because I haven't really said those rules in my chat in a long time. There's one more thing I want to add there too. Okay? If anybody that comes at me here in the chat, or even behind the scenes, like in my email, if you follow me to another channel, and you say one thing crazy in that chat against me or against somebody else, I'm not going to just let that go. You will not be back on my channel at all ever. And if I'm a mod on that, because this happened the other day, just so everybody knows. Somebody I posted, you know, hey, I'm going over to Mark Pyre's channel. They followed me over there. They started doing their crap in that chat room. So I was a mod over there, so Hilly actually banned him right away. And I just came back over to my channel and blocked him from my channel too. So I let him say whatever he had to say over here. But when he followed me over there, that's crossing the line. You know, Mark Pyres didn't have nothing to do with that conversation, so don't bring it to his chat room. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. So, we don't have to stay on topic. Asking for a friend. I don't know. Stay on the topic. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're saying there. I don't control the conversation in the chat room. If you got, there's been multiple times you guys talk about something completely different from what I'm talking about. That's okay. People want to hear what I got to say, or they'll listen to me, or go back and listen to it on a. Yeah, you are, Tam Tam. That's okay. No, I get it. Listen, guys. You guys don't understand. I know my faults more than what most people think, and I do to work on it. I do know I get distracted, just like I am right now, which is for the most part. That's why I put the chat away and let you guys handle it. I'm like a squirrel sometimes. I like talking to you guys. I like being a part of that. It's been a great thing I've discovered here. And believe it or not, it's actually hurt my subscriber numbers. Just so everybody knows. But I'm not going to, you know, I understand that. I've built some bonds here now too, and I'm trying to work back to getting to do some edited videos for people that don't have the time. I've done a couple, and I promised that I was going to do more, and I just haven't had the time yet. I want to get myself into a schedule where I do a short one at the beginning of the day, 30 minutes or less, and then I do a live stream at night. That's really my goal. I'll get there. Just give me a couple more months, and we'll get there. I've been sick and dealing with a bunch of other crap. But that's just what's going on. Squirrel, you carry rabies? Sometimes I foam at the mouth. I don't know. Just kidding. But yeah, guys. So we got the earthquake stuff, and this one just happened. That's a 4 or 7. There's decent ones going on. But to answer the Hawaii question, there's nothing new here. They're not very big right now. That could be good or bad. I'm on some Lasix right now, frustrated. I'm trying to keep out of the hot. Well, no sooner I say that, look at that. Man, I tell you what. Somebody out there wanted me to be wrong. Look at that. It just popped up no sooner I said that. Are you kidding me? Oh, okay. I'll fix that. Sorry, Jessica. We'll get you back in there after this show. Sorry. She may be able to, G513 may be able to go unhide her. I'll have to go into my settings and stuff. Randy, you can talk all the trash you want about anybody as long as it's not a channel creator. If it's a politician, just try to be respectful. It says it's a 1-8, Taylor. You can get your point across how you feel about somebody without being, I guess, I don't want to say rude, because sometimes you can be rude too, but what I'm saying is, we all know, if it's not like a YouTube creator or if it's not against us, if it's a political view, I understand. I know that my channel isn't based around that, but if you guys get to talking about that stuff in the chat room, I would advise against it, because it does tend to, what ends up happening, guys, people have very strong views on that. They're very passionate, and sometimes they can't hold their tongue. They start, There you go, Jessica. Angelo took care of you. It was just an accident, guys. Just so everybody knows, that happens. Yeah. I agree, Jerry, but, I'm just saying. It does usually end up in a fight. And I'm talking people get down, mean, nasty, dirty. And with my chat rules, it's kind of hard to protect even people I like when they start showing their passions there. You know what I'm saying? So I like all you guys, and I want you all to stay. So, that's just my advice. You can talk about all you want in there. Just don't let it get too crazy. Yeah, please no politics. Exactly, Bob. That's what I would say that. But, if it's a comment here or there, and there's a question somebody has, and believe it or not, sometimes politics actually will bleed onto what we're talking about here. Just like this. You know what they did, guys? I'm not sure if you guys have heard this yet or not. But they're not calling our Space Force astronauts. You know what they're calling them? Get this. They're calling them Guardians. That is their official name. Guardians. Think about that. What are they guarding? Who are they guarding? And why? So I just would throw that out there for everybody. I thought that was an interesting thing that actually came back from a political thing. That actually, yeah. Yeah. When they start calling people like guardians that are above our heads that are protecting us, and they're instead of using the words astronauts, they're using guardians. So, yeah, I know. It really is. It's, yeah. I just, I try not to go that deep in those kinds of conversations because, again, people get really passionate, but that does affect what we talk about here, obviously, because we talk about space. So it does apply. That's one of those crossover subjects, like I was trying to explain. Yeah, I know. That's kind of where everybody went, Cosmo. Guardians of the Galaxy. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? That's that slow little desensitization that they try to do, guys. I'm telling you. That's a real thing. Mainstream media will tell you that's a real thing. So when they say, when they say it like that what we've been saying for years, it has to, it's got to be the truth. I mean, it's just what it is. We see that desensitization has been going on. They've been using that as like, as a war tool, actually, for years. I mean, I'm talking hundreds of years. So, yeah. So, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm not sure what time it is, 11:35. I'm sure Mark's probably still on. I'm not sure what time he got on tonight. I've been trying to spend time with my family, been trying to rest up. But here's Mark's show, guys. I'm going to share his link here. Come on. Here is his link. Copy, paste. I'm going to head over here. You guys head over here with me. Let's go give him the old-fashioned Wages love bomb. Hey, this is Christmas time. Let's go show him some loving. Loving. You guys will laugh. Look at this. How can you look at this and not laugh? Look at that. We were just talking about her, weren't we? It's crazy. But I'm telling you, we have a great time over here. He's awesome. He's become a really good friend of mine. And I don't have anything else to say on that part. Now, what I do want to do here, guys, if I could, just go ahead, because I haven't done this today yet. So I'm going to drop my link here to my PayPal. If you guys want to help me out, you can. There it is. I probably should have done that earlier, but I do appreciate it, because I can use it, obviously. It's not expected, and I do appreciate every time anybody helps me at all. So thank you guys so much for being here and for doing, supporting me and just sticking around. None of that stuff I really care too much about with the PayPal thing. Okay, that's just something I started doing recently because people were asking, and just to be honest, guys, yes, I can. I need, sometimes I need help too. But I also understand you guys are in just as bad as a spot as I am. So please don't ever feel obligated. I would rather you just be here. And that's the God's honest truth. So, but it's there if you guys want to help. Also, my P.O. box is down there too for people that don't want to do it electronically. I appreciate that. And I won't use your name unless you tell me I can. And I just use initials. First name and last initial. That's something new I'm going to do. So if you do donate, please just tell me, say, yes, you can use my name and last initial. If not, I'm not going to use it because I've had a couple people kind of not want me to do that. So, anyway, guys, God bless. Yahusha saves. Come over here and laugh with me. Come over here and laugh. And you can drink this Kool-Aid.